Hello, my dear children. Welcome to our video lesson. Let's start. Open your copybooks and write down the date. The 26th of February, Friday. Talking about books. Do you like reading books? What's your favorite book? Let's continue our lesson. You are going to learn vocabulary for talking about books. You are going to identify what people are talking about in a listening. You are going to answer questions about books. You are going to write about favorite books. Now, children, open your students' books at page 80. Listen and repeat. There are some new words for you. Давайте разберем новые слова. Откройте словарные тетради и запишите их. Now listen and repeat. Слушаем и повторяем. Talking about books. Hardbacks, paperbacks, comic book, blurb, plot, fiction, non-fiction, novel, sequels. Hardbacks, paperbacks, comic book, blurb, plot, fiction, non-fiction, novel, sequels. Let's do the book quiz. Open your students' books at page 81. Выполняем это задание в устной форме. Are you ready? Let's listen.
Track 2.23, Unit 7, Vocabulary, Exercise 2. 1.
Experts have used computer programs to calculate the number of books in the world. They think there are probably around 130 million.
2.
In the past, all books were hardbacks. The first paperback books appeared in the 1900s.
3.
A lot of superheroes in films first appeared in comic books in America in the 1930s. Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man were all in comic books before they appeared in films.
4.
The book and film Jurassic World has a plot about dinosaurs. In the story, some scientists bring dinosaurs back to life. Everything is okay until the dinosaurs get out and go after people.
5.
The French writer Victor Hugo wrote the longest ever sentence in his novel Les Miserables. The sentence has 823 words.
6.
Books by the artist Leonardo da Vinci are all very expensive. In 1994, the American Bill Gates bought this one for $30,802,500.
7.
In the past, authors used pens and ink to write books. The first person to use a typewriter was American writer Mark Twain in 1876.
8.
The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban are sequels. Lord of the Rings continues the story of The Hobbit, and The Prisoner of Azkaban continues the story of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
If you want, you may stop the video and you may do this quiz. Now, children, let's check. Давайте проверим. How many correct answers have you got? Let's continue our lesson. Let's do exercise number 3. Listen. What are the people from 1 to 5 talking about? There is one word you don't need. the blurb, comic book, fiction, hardback books, non-fiction, a sequel. Stop the video and do this task. Выполняем это задание в устной форме.
Track 2.24. Unit 7. Vocabulary. Exercise 3. 1.
I never buy them because they're expensive. I always buy paperbacks.
2.
I usually read the back cover before I buy a book. It gives me a good idea of what the book's about.
3.
I never use books to look for information about something. I prefer to look online.
4.
I'm so excited that this book is coming out next week. I can't wait to read the next part of the story. The first book in the series was amazing.
5.
It's a great book. It's about a superhero. There aren't many words, but it's got lots of amazing pictures.
Let's check. Number 1, hardback books. Number 2, the blurb. Number 3, non-fiction. Number 4, a sequel. Number 5, comic book. Prepositions in, on. Предлоги in, on. In, place, time. In a book, in a magazine, in a country, in the world. Time, in 1856, in January, February, in summer, winter. On a page, on the front, back, cover, on a list. On 5th December, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. Предлог in на русский язык переводится в. Предлог on также может переводиться как в и на. Let's read some sentences. How many books are there in the world? The first paperback books appeared in the 90s. Which of these superheroes first appeared in a comic book? The longest sentence in a work of fiction is 823 words. Someone bought the Codex Leicester on 11th November 1994. Запишите данную информацию в свои рабочие тетради и запомните, в каких случаях мы используем предлог in и в каких случаях мы используем предлог on. It's time for your individual work. There are some exercises for you. А сейчас задание для вашей самостоятельной работы. Exercise number 1, page 80. Check the meaning of the words in blue in the book quiz on page 81. Match the words with the definitions. Посмотрите на слова, которые выделены голубым цветом на странице 81. Обратите внимание на данные слова. Сопоставьте эти слова с их значениями. Запишите свои ответы в краткой форме в тетрадь. Definitions – это значение, определение. Exercise number 5, page number 80. Write answer to the questions. Ответьте на вопросы письменно в тетрадях. Запишите свои ответы полными предложениями. Do you prefer to read books or watch films? Why? What was the last novel that you read? Who is it by? Do you usually read the blurb before you buy a book? What comic books are there in your country? What kinds of non-fiction books do you read? Can you name 3 books or films that have a sequel? Now answer the question. Ответьте письменно на вопрос. What is your favorite book? Write down about the name and the author. Какая твоя любимая книга? Напишите название этой книги и автора. Let's assess your work during the lesson. Choose one number and write down it in your copybook. Thank you for attention, my dear children. The lesson is over. Goodbye.